Hey, what's up? Happy Friday. This is exciting. I would love to go over the first lesson. It looks like this with the cactus. Determining central ideas and details. I did my homework. I'm hoping that you did as well. First of all, I'm so excited about the response I got from all of you. I was worried at first that y'all wouldn't be interested in me doing this YouTube, but I'm finding that you all are communicating with me and with each other. I'm trying to comment on your posts as much as possible, as long as it has something to do with material. And even if you're just saying hi, I'm trying to say hello back. I feel kind of like an influencer.
I'm so popular. Anyways,
Okay, so let's start with packet lesson 1. I'm not going to go through every single question because I'm not saying it is boring, but some of you might not be as excited for it. So that's why I'm not going to go through every single question. So this packet was all about determining the central idea. And if you go back a few weeks ago when we talked about central idea, also known as the main idea, it's basically the point that the writer is trying to make in the story. It's like the overall, I don't want to use idea, but it's the overall idea. Sometimes it's directly stated, but more often than not, it's not going to be stated. It's not going to say,
this main idea of this story is blank.
Or,
the main idea of this article is answer. It's not usually going to say that. So,
that's why we have to use kind of our brains and kind of think about what we think it could be. So let's start. I'm actually going to start on page 4, where it talks about the unusual Venus flytrap. It looks like this. It gives you a very small paragraph that talks about the unusual Venus flytrap, and it asks you to come up with the central idea and then one supporting detail. It already gives you 2 supporting details. So based off of the supporting details it gives you, it says the Venus flytrap looks like a creature with a mouth, and then the Venus flytrap can eat frogs. So it says reread the title and the first and last sentences of the paragraph to look for clues about the central idea. Write the central idea in the middle of the web, then skim the paragraph to find details that support your idea. So a lot of these answers could have different, it might not be directly what I say. What your answer you put might not be the same thing I put. So I put that the Venus flytrap is a plant that is like no other. So I would write that right here. So I'm going to write...
It's a very unique plant. If I could be a plant, I'd probably be a Venus flytrap. It just sounds different, you know? Like, it's not a daisy or an elm tree or a willow. It's like, I'm a Venus flytrap. The Venus, capitalized Venus, and flytrap because it's a proper noun. The Venus flytrap is a plant that is like, I was going to use the word unique, but it says in the article, so I tried to
Ta-da. Okay. And then I need one more supporting detail because the Venus flytrap looks like a creature with a mouth. That doesn't sound like any other plant I know, so that's why that fits. It's like no other. It can eat frogs. Last time I checked, that's no other plant can do that. So I need one more supporting detail that goes along with the fact that it's a plant like no other. So I put that the plant has lobes with small trigger hairs that causes the plant to clamp down to catch its prey. So I'm not going to write all of that in my supporting detail box. I always forget to look at the camera. I'm just going to put a little bit. So I'm just going to say...
has lobes, I don't need place sentences, which equals clamping down on prey. Just chomping down.
That'll be 2. So has lobes clamping down on prey. Not many other plants have that. So, all right. So 4 is done.
Bye-bye, page number 4. Yeah, I'll see you later. Okay, cue Jody Messina.
All right, so we're going to move on. We're on page number 5. It's a continuation of the article. Just goes more in depth about the Venus flytrap. And this is where it's going to ask us to talk about the central idea more. So, it says, circle the correct answer. Which sentence in the paragraph best shows the text's central idea? So the answers they give are A, one of the most mysterious things about the Venus flytrap is that scientists still don't understand how the trap closes. Okay, that is interesting, and it is mentioned in the article, but it not necessarily covers the entire article. Okay, so we're going to keep that in the back of our head. B, the flytrap does not have the muscles, tendons, or nervous system necessary for movement. Okay, again, interesting and true, but you have to question yourself, does that cover, is that the central idea for the text above? Is that all what it's about? Debatable. C, scientists guess that the trap might close using some electrical impulses and pressure changes. Interesting. Again, correct? Yes. In terms of, that is a true statement. Is that the central idea? D, it should be no mystery, however, why this unusual plant has captured the imaginations of so many people. That right there, my friend, is the text central idea. D is your answer. Now they want us to show your thinking. So now that you have that central idea, what proof do you have that answers kind of why that would be the central idea? So I am going to circle D. Just like that. Okay? And now I'm going to write an answer. Your answers might vary from mine, which is totally fine. I'm just going to write that
Choice D covers what the entire text is about. That's it. And again, your answers might vary, but choice D covers what the entire text is about. On page 5. Next. Thank you. Next. Okay.
page 7. Oh, okay. So next page is page 6, and that's where it goes into another plant life, and it's the corpse flower. And let me tell you something. This story, or this article, it's not a story. I was blown away. I never heard of the corpse flower, and I read it, and just at the introduction sentence was the literally definition of a hook. We've been talking about hook and coming up with a sentence to reel your audience in. What is something you can use to really make your audience want to pay attention? And this author, Stasia Alonso, really did that. Her first sentence, I'm not going to read the whole article because we have it in front of you. It says, why would thousands of men, women, and children wait in line to see a flower that smells like rotting flesh?
I don't know, Stasia. Why don't you tell me? Because I'm sure that's what you're about to do. I'm like, what? A flower that smells like rotting flesh? Disgusting, yet intrigued. So
that's what this article is about. So I'm going on to page 7. Question number 1. Which of the following details best supports the idea that people are very interested in the corpse flower? So we talked about the first sentence, how it hooks you in. The answer for this is going to be B. So it says 16,000 people came in to see the corpse flower in Bonn, Germany. That is going to be our answer. Yes, the corpse flower has a smell of rotting flesh. Absolutely. Is that the main idea for the entire thing? Is that all the article really talks about? Absolutely not. The flower was nicknamed corpse flower because of its smell. Again, yes, it is true. But that doesn't mean that's what the whole article is about. D, the inside of the flower looks dark red when it blooms. Absolutely. It talks about how it looks like meat, like fresh meat or flesh. True, but not what the whole article is about. B, 16,000 people came to see the corpse flower in Bonn, Germany. That is true. That is your answer because that is the rest of the article talks about why people want to see it so badly. What is it about the flower that people want to line up and see that 16,000 people are coming to see? The smell, how big it is, how it only blooms for a certain period of time. That's why.
So B is your answer. So, question number 1, answer is B. All right.
Let's go on to number 2. Which of the following details from the text is not strong support for why people would be so interested in the corpse flower? So again, they're going to give us all answers that are technically true, but they want to know which one is kind of the weakest answer that shows why people would be so interested in a flower, or the corpse flower specifically. So question A, answer A. It smells like rotting flesh. To me, although that sounds gross and disgusting, I'm intrigued by that. That might be a reason why people would want to go see the corpse flower. Let's go on to B. So that might be a correct answer. I'm actually going to put check mark next to that because I think that's one of the right answers. It's the right answer, but it's not the answer to this. That's confusing. Let me stop you. Slow my roll. Whoop. Pause. It's not the answer to the question, but it is a reason why people would want to go. It's a strong reason why people would want to go see it. So I put a check mark next to it, but it's not the answer we're going to circle. It often grows as tall as a man. Again, if I knew there was a flower that grew as tall as a man, I would probably want to see it too. So I don't think that's a weak answer. That's a strong answer. So I'm going to put a check mark next to it. It's not the answer. I'm going to circle them. It blooms for only a short time. Okay, well, we know plants that bloom for a couple months, or, that they're alive and well for a few months. This one only blooms for 1 or 2 days and then goes back down. So that, to me, is another reason why someone would want to see it. I'm not going to circle, but I am going to put a check mark next to it. The last one, it lures in insects for pollination. Well, although that is interesting, don't other plants also lure insects in for pollination? So for me, that's not really a reason why people would want to go see this flower, because other flowers do that as well. So I think my answer
is B. Ta-da! Answer D. We love it. Many flowers already do lure in insects, so it's fine. Okay, let's go on to number 3.
State the central idea of the account. Remember that some central ideas are implied rather than directly stated. So we mentioned at the beginning, like, not all the time will a central idea be like saying, the central idea of this article is. Okay, it's not always, it usually won't say that. Include at least one direct quote from the text to support your explanation. Okay, so first we need to state what the central idea is. And then we need at least one direct quote. Now, if we were using RAD, one quote wouldn't be good enough. Restate is the R, answer is the A, detail is the first D, and another detail is the second D. So we are going to go above and beyond, and we are going to earn us a 4 instead of a 3 because
They want us to do only one, but we're going to include 2 details. Okay, let's see this. So,
what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say, we're
going to restate first. Central idea of the text is that the corpse flower, sorry, I'm looking at the story while I do this. The corpse flower is a unique plant that fascinates people. I think that's good. I'm going to show you this. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Fascinates people. So,
I restated it, and I answered it. So the central idea of the text is the corpse flower is a unique plant that fascinates people. So I have that answer down. Again, your answer might vary from mine. It might be different. As long as you have what you think the central idea is, and you're going to provide details, then that's perfect. So I'm looking at my text right now, and I'm trying to find evidence to support this. So my first evidence is going to come from paragraph 1. So I'm going to say,
in paragraph 1, I'm going to write, Alonzo writes, I like using the author's name, quote, because we need specific evidence from the text. Okay, we can't just write random thoughts. We're going to write, ... children... I didn't want to write the whole thing. You can if you want. As long as I get the main parts. Wait in line to see a flower that smells like rotting flesh. Okay.
so In paragraph 1, Alonzo writes, children wait in line to see a flower that smells like rotting flower. Okay, so we have the first detail. Now we want the second detail because we're using rat. So we have the first D, now we need the second. So I'm going to say...
We need a good transition. So I'm going to write another example is, we'll say, in paragraph 2, where it states, they bloom for only 1 or 2 days at a time. Talking about the flower itself. At a time. Period. End quote.
Just like that. So we have our restate, we have our answer, we have our detail, and we have our second detail. We have our rad. We love it. Okay. You can always pause the video too if you get a little confused or you need me to, if you want it longer basically. All right, so, I'm over here. Hello. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we are going to do the long answer part of, from lesson 1 from the article Against All Odds, Earth's Fragile Pioneer. So this is the last part of packet 1. It looks like this. It's a little bit longer of an article. What I don't want you to do is look at this and be like,
oh, it's a longer article, it's going to be so hard, or oh, I don't want to do it.
The long answer together. I am going to first write down what I think the central idea is. This is something you can do on your own, but basically they want you to know the question that they're asking in the long extended response, they call it, is... Against All Odds, Earth's Fragile Pioneers describes the invasion of life that arrived in the volcanic islands of Hawaii. What is the central idea of the article? How does the author use supporting details to develop the central idea? Use details from the article to support your response. So in other words, you're saying, what is the central idea? And then what evidence from the text does the author use in order to support that central idea? So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start by writing, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to write first. I'll write it. I'm going to stop the video because it takes me a while to write, and then I'll show you what I write, okay? So I'm going to start with, we need RAD, right? R-A-D-D, RAD. Of the article, why not use that? Use your resources to help you. So I'm going to write, the central idea of the article is how Hawaii is a unique place due to how life has traveled to get there. Okay, so I'm going to write the central idea of the article. All right, so, can you see that? The central idea of the article is how Hawaii is a unique place due to the distance life has traveled there. I am going to take lines 5 and 6, so I'm going to say, in line 5, the author writes, and I am going to write, it took time, but these bare new worlds, risen from the sea and born of fire, finally surrendered to the slow but persistent assault of life. So line 5. That's going to be my evidence to show how Hawaii, life was brought to Hawaii. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You need evidence. You can't just say something is the central idea without having evidence about it. I always give the example, like if you go to the cops and you say,
so-and-so robbed a bank.
They're going to be like, oh, okay, well, thanks
for telling us, but what evidence do you have? So you need evidence for your story, so.
That is that. Again, it's lines 5 and 6. It's a long quote, but it's our evidence. It's what we need. So now what we need to do is we need to do one more D because Brad has 2 Ds. There's 2 details. So I need one more quote from the article that supports my central idea of how life Hawaii is unique because life has been brought to Hawaii. So what I'm going to choose is I'm going to choose line 9 in paragraph 2. So again, I'm looking at this article. Okay, and line 9 says, yet life did get to Hawaii, and it did so in 3 ways, by wind, wings, and water. So I'm showcasing, I'm not going to, it's the very kind of a brief synopsis of what how they say life was brought to Hawaii, which was the wind, wings, and water. Okay, so that's why. So I'm going to start with a transition. So I'm going to say another example of when the central message was shown was in line 9, where the author writes, and now I'm going to write the quote. I'm going to write the quote. All right, so just a reminder that if I ever go too fast for you, this is, a video. So you're more than welcome to just pause it and just take your own time, go at your own pace. That's the nice thing about online learning, is that you can go at your own pace. So, all right, plans. Next week, I will be going over this packet. It says lesson 8 at the top, determining theme or central idea. You have the whole week. You have a week to work on it, and then I'll be posting it on Friday of me going over it. Again, I'm not going to go through every single question, but the majority I will. So that's great. Again, this is central idea. Determining theme or central idea. It has this person up here, right here, and he's saying,
I used to be the worst player on the team, but I practice hard, rain or shine. I practice every day, rain or shine. Excuse me.
So yeah, that's that. I hope to hear from you soon. Let me know if you have any questions. If there's something you don't understand, I'm here for you. I'm thinking of all you guys, whether you're in my class, Miss Ryder's class, Miss Grove's class, Miss Lippa's class, whoever's class you're in. We're all in this together. Thank you for your cooperation. I hope you're working hard, but I also hope you're enjoying yourself and having fun. See you soon.